Once again, we are live. We'll get some music this time. Hello. Welcome to Famous Cartoonist Draws Things. Today, I will be drawing many things. The music you hear in the background is very special music by the one and only Gordon Baltazar. You can hear it on, let's see what website you can hear it on. You could hear it on SoundCloud. Google Gordon Baltazar. And he has a whole album track on there. And I know I can play this music because I won't get sued. It's true. This is my good friend George Clooney you're seeing here. And if you go to my website or my Facebook page, you might have saw my Clooney of the day. So I'm going to post him here so you can see. My Clooney of the day. Because George Clooney is awesome. Maybe not. Let's see. The Clooney of the day. There he is. We're going to go with this one. So welcome to the feed, my friends. I'm just getting my day started. I just started. I was up all night, working a lot, and I have my coffee now. See, here's my coffee. I was working really late, and I just woke up at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I know many of you are thinking that must be nice, but I went to bed about 9 a.m. So it's not bad. It's still a good 7-8 hour sleep. I have lots to accomplish in the next 24 hours. And being Tuesday is awesome. It's only Tuesday, I think. It's actually almost Wednesday. But we love George. We're going to be drawing some other stuff today. Check this out. I have to draw these pages. I got some pages here. And I'm going to draw some pages from Drew and Jot. This is page 50. It is a 200-page graphic novel, but I'm going to draw some of the pages to get warmed up a little bit. I've got 4 of them open here, if maybe I could work on them. Is the music too loud? We good? You guys like the music? I like it. It's a good background. It's good for the soul. And when I have an art gallery, I'm going to have an art show soon. Once we survive these next few weeks and month or so, I'm going to have an art show at Aya Comics. And I can't wait to do it. We have the space. We have the technology. We can rebuild them, all that stuff. We're going to have an art show. And even no matter if people want to participate, that's cool. But if nobody participates, I'm going to still have my stuff. And my cousin too, Chris Sandoval will be there, and probably my son Gordon Baltazar, Gordy. And I'm gonna have some CDs of his music there that you hear. Here, we're gonna get it going. Watch this. He does really well. I don't know how he makes it. He does it electronically, but he's into it. And I think there's like 15 songs, so I'm gonna make some CDs. Maybe we could sell them at the show, you know, like $5 or something like that. And people could dig it. I'm lettering. It says 2 Dimension X. I'm already running out of room. I like doing these live shows. They're really fun. And then plus it gets me working. I'm excited about it. This excites me. And it excites me, and it's 1 hour or so of intense just drawing. No distractions. I go online to see the feed because I can't really see it happening live. But it's fun. I see my cousin Gina sent me a heart. David Clark likes it, and 5 other people. So I will check to see who these people are. And after these streams, I always go back and I read all the compliments, or what do they call them? The comments. And I really like it, man. This stuff keeps me going. Because it's really easy with everybody home to just ignore work. Plus, with everything happening outside, people are pandemicking, or whatever they call it. But I am not. Today, it's just normal. And I'm trying to take advantage of these few weeks that I've heard that people are supposed to stay home to the end of April. So, I'm going to take advantage. So, at the end of April, people are going to say, yeah, our printers are ready to go to press and all your stuff's done. So that's where I'm really want to take advantage of this. I don't just want to sit back and just wait. My Uncle Bill always told me there's 3 people. There's 3 types of people. Those who wait for things to happen, people that make things happen, and people who don't know what's happening. So I always remember that from Uncle Bill. He told me that when I was very young. He still tells me that at least once a year during Christmas. And I really appreciate that. I kind of live my life off that. And Uncle Bill's really awesome. And Aunt Marge would tell me the same stuff. And Aunt Marge is in heaven now. She just went to heaven. Just about last week. And I miss her. I think about her, you know. And the thing I like about her is people ask me, what kind of lady was Aunt Marge? And I say, well, she went right to heaven. I want to show you a joke. I made a comic strip of her. I never posted it. Here's a comic strip of Aunt March. Aunt March goes to heaven. She's at the gates of heaven. It says, meanwhile in heaven, and St. Peter's at the gate and says, Marge, what are you doing waiting in line? And he says, come to the front. He waves her and come to the front. And she gets to the front. And she says, you don't have to wait in line. Just go right in. And then she gives him a wink, and he goes, oh, here's your sandwich, because you get a sandwich when you go to heaven. So that's kind of how she was. She didn't have to wait in line. But anyway, shout out to the family. Hey. But remember that last page I did maybe yesterday it was Dr. Danger zooming around. So now this is going to be the next page of him. Doing his thing. He's causing chaos. That's what the bad guys do, right? This is exciting. And normally like today, I really feel I want to write in my book. It's a little cool outside still. Because normally I go to the coffee shops. I go to Starbucks, or there's a coffee shop here where I live called Country Style Donuts. And I go there because it's open 24 hours. And they let me sit there and draw and write stuff. So I like to draw my comics and write stories at these places. And where all I have is that. There's no, like I said, there's no distraction anywhere. There's no distraction to pull my attention away. So I have this book. I draw it in this book. Oh, this is a bill I gotta pay. I just ignore that. I gotta pay taxes in Ohio because I did a show in Ohio. But these are These are my stories. Oh, here. Like, here's my Drew and Jot story. I've been writing this today. I'm going to refresh so I can see if this is coming up. Yeah. Oh, people dig it, yeah. You inspire me to get back into cartooning. D. Brad. Yeah, man, do it. Get back into it. And then Pastor Juarez. Oh, yeah, live stream. Heck yeah, man. And then Adam Seltzer. Art, Adam. And Ryan Green. Your lettering process fascinates me. Well, thank you, sir. Your texting is quite fascinating yourself. And you're awesome. Okay, I'm going to take a swig because I got this coffee. But here's what I do. I do all these sketches. I do all these sketches here. And I think and write and write. I'm sitting jotting down ideas. And then I'll go and number them. And then say, here you can see her ship crashed. So I'll get... I write all this stuff. I just wrote some of this today. This group here, and I wrote all this today. But I wrote at the kitchen table while our frozen pizzas were cooking. And so then I take my pages, page 52, 53, 54, and so on. And you can tell I had to put 51 up there. I messed up somewhere before. Somewhere. Well, there's page 51. And then here was page 63. I messed up. I figured it out differently. And here's the new 63. The new 63. It's like from Oh Yeah Comics. And so these are the page layouts in the squares, and then that's just how it goes. And so this turns into this. So I'm going to see if I have one here. Yeah, I do have something here. You probably can't see because it's kind of light. But here's her scribbling and painting. And let's see if I got the page here. Here she is. Here's her screaming like, ha 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 ha. But that's the page right there. And then she dips her finger in the brush. Or she dips her finger into the paint. Right here. See? Well, maybe on the next page. Here it is. She dips her finger in the paint. There it is. See, that's it. I transfer it. So I don't have a magic machine that transfers. I just have to redraw it all. Which is kind of fun. See, splat! She's painting. So my lettering technique for this stuff is, especially for this guy. This guy's the guy who's being drawn into the story. Which is kind of fun. And then when I ink this, it's real crazy, not silly, because it's supposed to look like a kid drew it, so I could do all this crazy stuff. You know? So it's supposed to look like paint, but it'll look like paint because I add paint, I splotched paint all over my floor, I had it on my floor, and then I put a piece of paper so I could take the paper and scan it, and that's just what I do. It's what I do. It's a new word. I taught my kids this new word, sweat. It's called what I do. It's like when people say, it's going to be great, it's going to be awesome, it's going to be fun. You say, it's going to be fun. It's true. I didn't make this up. I just perfected it. You know. My cousin Teresa's there. Hi, Shug. And then my friend Kevin Bixby again. I'm drawing an action cat while you do your thing. Yeah, man. Draw a comic. I'll publish it. I'll put it in my book. If everything goes well with all these deadlines and all of this stuff, in June, July, August, I'm going to be starting up All Your Comics publishing. I'm going to be doing more stuff. Most of it will be digital for now until I figure out a way how to get it printed. But that's the goal. Because I'm finishing up a lot, and I have some opportunities coming up where I could do some things. So that's going to happen, and you're going to like it. It's going to be great. I sound like the president would say, you're going to like it, it's going to be great. But it will. It's going to be real fun, and I have these stories in my head, and I have a lot of stuff drawn that is that needs to be out there. People need to read it. People need to see it. And I can't wait to get it going. So here it is. I don't like how that looks. I have a little, the camera's on an easel. So kind of, my elbow hits it right here. Ooh. So sometimes my lines get restricted. That's okay, I'm making it work. Make it work. When you run out of paper, you tape two pages together. Make more. See, I don't like how that list should be like this. See, it should be like that. That's what I'm going to do. Needs to be more powerful. more dramatic, if you will. So I'm going to go like this. Watch. Wah, wah. There it is. But now I got to move that blink over because now it looks like bink. So I'm going to move it. That's the power of digital. I do this stuff. So this is the most exciting page of the book because you're like, oh no, Dr. Danger's going to Dimension X to destroy the Bombastic Fantastic. But to see me drawing it, it's not that fantastic because you just see. It looks like I'm just goofing off. But it's true because Drew and Jot is real fun. I created it in Gordy. My little Gordy was a baby boy. He was on the couch. He was brand new. I think my wife just went back to work. He had been about 3 months old, but he was so tiny that you know when the babies are so tiny and you could put pillows around them and they don't roll over. So I know he was on a couch with me. I was sitting next to him on a couch, but he was sleeping, and I had towels. He was on a pillow, but I had towels surrounding him, so he couldn't get up. He's real cute and small, and so see, look at that. All right, this page is done. So while he was laying there, the little baby, real tiny little guy, I thought, I'm going to get some notebook paper and some markers and crayons and see if I could draw a whole comic book before he wakes up. And I invented Drew and Jot. And I did it. I did like 30 pages maybe. It felt like it, maybe less. But I did 3 chapters of a book. And all those things are on my website right now, artbaltazar.com. And it's real easy to find. Just go to Drew and Jot. And you'll see the original pages I made. And when Boom Studios asked me about a year or so ago, 2 years, maybe a year and a half or so, they asked me, they said they would really like to see what you have for publishing. Do you have any ideas? And I said, yes. And of course, you always say yes when a publisher calls you, always say yes. They say, you got any more ideas? Yes, I got tons. You say it, believe it or not, but you'll come up with something. So, I reached into my art drawers. I have like these map drawers, real big drawers, and I pulled out these old Drew and Jot drawings, and I scanned them and sent them to them, and did some more extra sketches, and they loved it. I'm like, oh, cool, and that's how Drew and Jot got made. That's how it turned into a real book. Because I never throw away ideas. I always keep the ideas, and possibly I could use them again one day. And that's the way it goes. See, it's another word. It's the way it goes. What do you guys think? That page is done. It doesn't look like anything, but here, I'm going to add some more. I'm going to add this. Maybe add something here, because it doesn't look like anything. It will once the color goes on. See, it disappeared. Bink. I don't like all those. I don't like them. I went a little bit too much. There he goes. Like that. I like that. Okay. This one's ready for inks. Inks and paints. What do you think? Is that cool? Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. We're going to save this. Yep. Get ready for inks. I have lots to do tonight. I'm just starting. Maybe at the first hour or so, or 2. I don't know. I could work on this stuff. And then write out the night with some colors. Okay. 1 page. See, here's, what page was that? It's 3050. Oh. Page 49. 48. We'll go, I thought that was page 47. Yeah. And then meanwhile, back at the house. I don't even say that. I just show you. You guys like the music? Can you hear it? It's my guy's music. And this is paint. A little thick. Here, look, we're getting a little funky here. guy has an eye for an ear for music. My Phil Velican has asked me, he loves watching this. Was there a way to watch the last one? If you go to my Facebook feed, I have them all on there. Just scroll down past the George Clooney pictures, and you'll see this is, I entitled this one Episode 3. That's what the E3 is, so people can see that there are more. It's called E3 because there are more on there, and you'll be able to see Episode 1 and 2. They're all similar to this, but I draw different things. My hand looks the same, and my sleeve, same jacket. You guys will know pretty soon, like, oh, you've been drawing with that sleeve for 5 months. Can you go wash it? That's probably what's going to happen. But you could see the other ones. I put them on Facebook. And so far, that's the only place you see them, on my Facebook page. Actually, I want to share it to my other page. I have a page called Art BALTAZAR Famous Cartoonist. I'm going to share it there right now. Only if I can. I don't think I could. I'll put that up later. I'm gonna put that up later. I just got distracted by the internet. All right, let's do some drawing. And recently, I think it was just today, me and my pals at All Ya Comics, Franco and Brother Bear, we just started a Patreon page for the store. So, in these times of need, times of trouble, feeling down in trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, you know that. Well, she, Baby Jesus gave us a sign that said, hey, why don't you guys, since you're not getting new books for a while, why don't you make a Patreon page? So we have a Patreon page on Patreon called patreon.com/allyacomics for anyone who wants to support us through Patreon. And while we keep our stores open and keep product and keep things selling, and we're doing anything we can to keep the stores alive, because we're real passionate about the stores. We love the stores, and it's just something we always wanted to do, and we would hate for them to go away. So we're I don't think you're gonna go away. We're smarter than that. We're clever, and my friends are very creative and smart. So we all know what it takes to keep things going, because many years people said you can't draw, you're never gonna make it in this business, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna do whatever I can to keep it going. So even if the inevitable happens and everyone else is gonna suffer, I'm gonna keep this going, even if I have to draw comics, digital forever or whatever. But I'm gonna be making comics till I'm a little old man. So that's my goal. And go to the Patreon page so you can help Artie get old. You can help us all. You can help us all out. Whatever, no pressure. Whatever you want to do, go. But just at least go check it out. It'll be fun. Maybe something on there is enticing to you. I saw it, but I gotta go read it and see what's going on. So I might even contribute myself. You guys enjoying music? It's cool, right? Oh, my friend Kevin said I could be a hand model. That's true. I can model hands. See? They're delicate, yet refined, yet really masculine. See? I have no calluses because I've been drawing. But I do get paper cuts. And I do get bumps on my fingers now and then from holding a pencil. Look at her fingers gonna go dip in there. Look at it's like animation. And then it dips in there. It's all true, all true. So here's her finger. It's weird drawing. People always say the hardest thing to draw is hands. And it's true. It's easier to draw them as cartoony, but sometimes they don't look like anything. They look real blobby. Like a blob. But it's fun. This stuff's just so much fun to do. Look, special effect dip. This point size I'm using is very big. It's 3. I'm using a 3. A 3, I don't know. That's just the size. I don't know if that's pixels, or I don't know what it means. But it's the size. And like I said earlier, this thing, I've used Manga Pro. Manga Studio Debut I'm using. I think I might be using an old version. I probably am using an old version, but it works. It only costs like $55, but man, is it awesome. Works incredibly well. It gets me to work on my stuff. Yeah, next song starting. Ready? That was me doing that, sorry. Alright, let's get back. There it is. That was cool. I got carried away there. The song is called Night Visions, which it's really good. My guy Gordy could cut a tune. He makes music and sells Air Jordans. This may be my new theme, I think. What do you think? This is you're gonna like this name. The family is gonna like this name I gave this girl. Her name is Patsy. This is little Patsy. And you're gonna like this too. It's Andrew's little sister. And little Patsy is a troublemaker. The family is like, oh my God, I'm telling Aunt Patsy. If you want everyone to know, just tell Aunt Patsy. And Treese too. If I want to tell Treese, yeah. Say, Treese, you need to spread the word for me. She's like, I got it, Shug. I don't know if she's still watching. I see some comments. I'm going to go read some comments. But I'm going to give you the hand. He gave me the hand. It's a real cartoony hand. It says, yeah, it's true. My friend Michael Gerard said the music is it's good. It's good music to focus. It's like jammy, but not too crazy. Right, it's real subtle. I'm really digging it. And Treese is dying, she said. We'll do Shug. Yeah, don't tell anybody you're my favorite cousin. There it is. Listen. Yeah. Famous cartoonist. Famous cartoonist. Famous cartoonist. Famous cartoonist. Famous Cartoonist Draws Things. Famous Cartoonist. Famous Cartoon. Famous Cartoonist. He draws things, yeah. Famous cartoonist. Famous cartoonist. Famous cartoonist. See, I told myself, if I tell everyone I'm famous, they're gonna believe me one day. Now you can see it. I have 10 people viewing. Who else has 10 people watching them draw? Even at a convention, it's like 1 or 2 people at the most. So what do you think, family? Did I name the girl appropriate by calling her Patsy? See, in my book, the boy Andrew is actually me. It's actually me in 5th grade. Characters in his sketchbook, but I didn't want to call the kid Artie because it's too non-subtle. And people say, "Oh, he's just drawing himself," but the character looks like he's a little boy with curly hair, so he looks just like me. But his name's Andrew, and his character is Drew. So Andrew, Drew, and his little dog is Jot, because you jot an idea down. And his best friend is named Foz. And when I was in college, I had a friend named Foz that we would draw in my sketchbook. We would pass a sketchbook back and forth to each other. So he would give him we'd trade sketchbooks, so we would take each other's sketchbooks home for a week and then draw on it and then bring it back and then trade. And we see the stories that we made. We'd write stories in there, and the only rules, we didn't want to kill your character. You just got to build on him. So just like see how he goes. And that's what this story's about. And Andrew meets his best friend Foz in 5th grade, and they start drawing stuff in the same sketchbook. But in reality, I was in college. I wasn't in 5th grade. But Foz is cool. I still look him up on the internet, and I know he's still drawing, but I didn't see him in a while. Last time I talked to him, I was on the phone with him, and I think he must have had me on speakerphone because I asked him to go to Hooters with me, and I know his wife or his girlfriend or something got a little upset. "You're not going there with that guy. I don't even know who he is." And I told him, "I'm sorry, man." I said, "People, you got to realize we go there for the chicken. Like, I'm an old man now. I got nothing to do with those waitresses besides just waiting for my order." So I bring the whole family there. I really like the chicken wings. But when last time I talked to Foz, that's what happened. So I don't mean to out you, Foz, or do whatever, but I miss you, buddy. I miss you. I gotta see what you're drawing now, and I gotta let you know that what's happening here, that you're in this book. Foz is in this book, and I tried to reach out to him, and I found something, but I think it was an old link or something. But I miss my buddy. It's like the ending of Shawshank. I really miss my friend Andrew. Remember Andy Dufresne? You missed him. I just want to shake my friend's hand. That's kind of what it is. I just want to see him. I want to give him a copy of Drew and Jot. But the cool thing about when me and Foz would draw, and we passing the books back and forth, we created a character called Electric Milk. And it was a character where he drew a superhero, and he left it off to me, and he says, he drew a superhero, broke into the room and faced the bad guys, and he says, "You won't defeat me. You never faced the power of," and he left it. And the next page I had to come up with something. And so I called the guy Electric Milk, because Foz drew a guy who had this cool costume, and he had like mini dreadlocks, short ones, and he had like a lightning bolt on his chest, and he was I think he had him carrying a milk jug. So then I called him Electric Milk, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then we gave him powers, and back and forth we created this character who Electric Milk got his powers because he wanted to microwave his cookies so they taste soft and homemade. But he didn't know that by doing that, he tried to bake his cookies, but he opened the microwave door too early, and it ended up getting zapped by microwave radiation. And while he was doing that, he spilt his milk on him, and he absorbed the powers of milk, whatever those powers are, and he became electric milk. He could hit you with electrified milk, and he could control lightning and stuff. It was pretty cool. I should bring him back in Powers in Action. Oh, I'm gonna. And then Fozzie can get co-creator credit. That would be cool. And so anyway, after we created Electric Milk, I think I might have been a sophomore or junior in high school. I knew Foz through high school, or not high school, college. I knew him through college. He was one of my friends. But we said, how about we just make our own comics? Like, we're doing them in the sketchbook and they're making us laugh. What if we just draw our own comics? And then we thought about it, and we said, what should we call ourselves? And I said, how about Electric Milk Comics? Like, yeah, that'd be fun. So we started making our own comics. I started with Cray Babies, because the Cray Babies I created them in the classroom because somebody made a joke. Because we were making, we were using Craypot, like Craypot crayons or Conti crayons, to draw our naked lady up there. And so somebody said, if these are the Craypots, where are the Craymas? And I said, oh, they must be with the Cray Babies. And everybody laughed, ho, ho, ho. And so I'm like, oh, that sounds funny. So I started making characters based off of art supplies. And Cray Babies, or Craypots became Cray Babies. And there was a Craypot in my original comic of Cray Baby, because it was the joke Cray Ma, Cray Pa were in there. But when I originally published it, I took them out because they slowed down the pace of the story. I threw you into the story just like how you watch the first Star Wars movie where there's a war and Darth Vader enters the room. I wanted it to be like that. So the very first page of Cray Babies, it's a splash page where you see Cray Babies under attack. And I thought that was cool. And I thought that was pretty fun. And that was my first comic. Based on me and Foz, we're gonna make Electric Milk Comics. But he was doing his book. I remember it was man, I forgot what it was called. But it was a guy like the Punisher. He was jumping around shooting people and breaking up mob bosses and stuff. His was more serious. It was like that that comic Hard Boiled by Frank Miller. That's what he was drawing it like that. It was really cool. I don't know how far he got with it. But we graduated and that's it. I didn't see him. I saw him, but I didn't really keep contact. And, you know, I think he got a job and all that stuff. So he became a famous graphic designer. And we kind of went separate paths. But I missed the dude. He's awesome. Uh-oh. I'm reflecting. But okay, this page looks like it's done already. See? What do you guys think? I want to show you some Cray Baby stuff. Stuff I was just talking to you about. I'm going to do it. Kevin Bixby said this guy loves Hooters chicken. Yeah, it's awesome, man. I get the 3 Mile Island. Rose is definitely in love. Oh, yeah, she is. She gives me hearts. But I'm going to have, I want to show you Cray Babies. Should I do it? Should I show you Cray Babies? Because I could open it up with, I could open it all up at once. I could open it up as a PDF. And then transfer it over here and you guys can see it. I'm going to do it. Alright, we're going to do that. There's an error opening. There's an error. Why is there errors? Alright, here we go. I'm going to put it over to the big screen so you guys can see. It's pretty fun. Look at that. The Cray Babies. I'm going to open it large. Look at it. This is my first comic ever. The Cray Baby Adventures. I'm going to make sure I can see it. Yeah, I'm still streaming. You guys are awesome. This is my first comic, The Cray Baby Adventures. And this is my company, Electric Milk Comics. And I still have that company. My art studio is called Electric Milk Creations. Because I figure one day I'll be doing more than just comics. And there it goes. And so, This was the cover, and now it's being published by Oh Yeah Comics Publishing, see? Now we're being published by Oh Yeah Comics, because this is available digital. You can read all of these books. I have a ton on Comixology. So here's the inside credits, see? Me and Franco, there are beautiful selves. People think it's George Clooney and Brad Pitt, but it's really us. Dedicated to Hanna-Barbera, of course. But this was my first comic. But it got updated for Oh Yeah Comics. But here's that splash page I was talking about. See where you just get pulled into the war. You're just into it. There it is. Let's get the Cray out of here. This is my first comic. This is what I used to draw like. So you can see I still draw the same way, pretty much. I'm gonna see if this is showing up. You guys can see this okay? There it is. I see it. Yeah, this was my very first comic, the Cray Babies. That's the first page, and then it goes. I won't show you all of it because I know it's hard to see. But this is when I did it on Comixology, I kept it black and white, but I changed the colors of the background a little bit just to pop it out a little bit, a la George Lucas special edition style. So I got like 10 issues of this, and it's pretty cool. Look at all the guys. There's subplot happening here. But I published it on Comixology the way I made it back in 1993. So a lot of stuff's weird. There's a lot of weird references. And you gotta remember, I started this, I was about 19, 20. So I was a different guy. I was a kid. I thought Bill and Ted were funny, you know, and those guys, Wayne's World was funny. I was watching Beavis and Butthead. So there's a lot of references, not to those, but silly things like that. So, but Cray Babies is how I learned how to make comics. So if it wasn't for Cray Babies, I don't know what I would do. I'd be driving a truck, delivering flowers. I don't know what I'd be doing, but I wouldn't be making comics if I didn't do this. And I'm so glad I did. And this book came out, it finally came out, I think, in December of 94. But I had a whole bunch of comics, like little Kinko copy ones back in 93. I started in 93. My first comic convention was the year 92. July 92 was my first Chicago Comic Con where I had a table. And I had these guys. And I would make little copies. I would make little, what do you call it? Homemade comics. I'd staple them at home. My cousin Treese helped me staple a bunch, I remember. And so I made this book, and I had to figure out how to find a printer, and I had to figure out how to get them distributed, and I had to figure out all that stuff. And eventually I did, and then all of a sudden I was selling comics. So I went back and did all this. And this is the Gouache Monster. The Gouache Monster is going to return. He's going to be a bad guy in one of my books. But I like this stuff. This is real near and dear to me. But my company was Electric Milk Comics. And if you look on my website, it's Electric Milk Creations now. So I still have the same name, and I'm incorporated now. I have an art studio. I have employees. It's kind of weird. I own comic shops. So all of it started with this. Look, 1993. Art BALTAZAR. My name looks the same, but it doesn't say Famous Cartoonist yet. But look, the book was rare. It's a rare collector's item, first issue. So make sure you buy it. And I drew this on paper, and I colored it with, I painted it. It's watercolor, see? Because I was trained in school as a painter, and I painted lots of things. So I love painting. That's like probably my first passion, like right after cartooning and painting, and it's what I like to do. There's that word again, sweat. It's what I like to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was kind of cool, making me emotional. No, I'm okay. But it's weird. Just I'm still getting my day started, so it's cool. Actually, I'm still drinking coffee. Look at it. There it is, coffee, Warner Brothers store coffee. What do you think? My guy Gordy could jam on his music. We've been at 46 minutes. I think the last stream I did was an hour and 17. But it goes by so fast for me, so I'm just gonna keep going. If I'm down to one person, it's still worth it to get that one guy inspired. But you know what? I think one screen is viewing it, But that guy probably like has his family surrounded, so it's kind of like listening to War of the Worlds back in the 40s, whatever that was, where the whole family is gathered around the radio, and they're thinking, "Hey, he upped his game this time. He has background music." All right, here's where Patty discovers paint. So she's painting, she's finger painting on all of this paper, and you can see the paper, the paint is dripping on the sketchbooks that these two guys took a break from. There's Andrew and there's Foz. So that's me and Fozzie, based off of us in college, but this is us in 5th grade. But I didn't know him in 5th grade, so that's where I break the fantasy, you see. So I'm going to move this panel over. See this line? So these based off of him, based off my friend Foz, and in the book his name is Foz. And it was funny because I met a kid at C2E2 who was like a preschooler, kindergartner, and he said his name was Andrew. He told me his name was Andrew, and he draws comics in a sketchbook with his friend Foz. And he said that it's the exact names. And first I'm like, really? And then like the dad said, yeah, he's not lying. Like, wow. So that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to hear that I touched upon one young man's future. Hopefully I could inspire him to do more things. So these are my lines to try to keep my lettering straight. Oh, look at it. It's getting funky again. Break it down. I like this. This is my guy Gordy's first album. So imagine what will happen if he keeps going. What will this sound like 10 years from now when he's a grown man, out of high school or out of college, on his path to success? I like it now. So, comma. I didn't even know what I'm writing. Anyway, oh, the comma's in the wrong spot. So anyway, I was thinking of another character for. There he goes. Then he gets interrupted. What the? See, I always listen to music while I'm working, but many times I can't broadcast. I don't want to get hit with a fine or anything, you know. They're gonna say, "Hey man, you don't know that music," and I got permission from Ookla the Mock to use their music in my videos, and I still got copyright stricken, and they don't understand. Like, hey man, I know these guys. They gave me permission, so I gotta get through that. I don't know how to prove that, but the videos are still up there. Maybe because I only have like 40 views on a lot of my stuff. But there's a lot of I have some videos that have like 2,000 views on our YouTube, and I don't understand how that happens, but it does. I think I gotta put Batman in the title. So anyway, I was thinking. Hope the sound's not conflicting with my voice. I don't think it is, right? I was thinking of another character. I was thinking of another character. You should say 4, right? I was thinking, so anyway, I was thinking of another character. I was thinking of another character. 4. Yeah, it needs to be 4 because it means it. Because you can say I was thinking of another character, then it would be a sentence. But this time he got interrupted. It's like, what was he gonna think of another character for what? So now I gotta see that goes there, but I gotta fix this because this isn't gonna fit. So I'm gonna move this around. That's the cool thing about lettering is I can move things around like this. See? So I put those lines. I'm going to put this another up there. That's why sometimes lettering takes the longest for me to do, because I got to tweak it. There's a lot of tweaking involved. Not twerking, tweaking. I don't think I could twerk. I'd probably break something, like the lamp or something. You thought I meant my butt. No, my butt would be fine. Probably break the lamp or knock over the dog. I don't know, something would happen. Something like that would happen to me. It would not be pleasant for those involved. So I'm going to avoid that. But I will tweak. I will tweak all day long. Oh, see, I messed up. I couldn't get that tool. Did you guys like my story, The Crybabies and Fozzie? Did it make you long for your childhood best friend? Why did I say long for him? Why do you long for them? Where did that word become longing? I short for you. I want to short for somebody, because longing for them seems like too much time. I shorted for you the other day. See, I moved them down. See, that's how I do. I sit here and think about things like that. See, and I don't need these lines. So anyway, I was thinking of another character for. Yeah, all right. Sometimes you gotta look. I'm gonna look at your comments, see if you guys are saying anything. It usually sparks me and gets another story. I see 57 comments, but if I look at that, the sound will come up and I'll go crazy. So how many Fozzes are out there? I don't know. You got Arthur Fozzarelli. Then you got Fozzie Bear. I don't know. That's right, man. Gordy got some skills. Manuel. I know him. Brother, I miss seeing you at shows. I know, man. I haven't been to Florida in years. I just haven't. Every time they have a Florida show, it's during a month that I have to do things. May is usually an open month for me. Sometimes, but the last few years, I always had something to do in May. And June is kind of like, I leave it open for Meagle Meet, and there's publishing shows and stuff. And August is off the table, because that's when our family goes vacation. I don't know if we'll do that this year, but we're going to vacation, the kids start school, there's a whole bunch of stuff has to happen. But I remember Florida used to be in March. I remember there was a March show all the time in Florida. Yeah. Alright, we're going to keep going. See, so this is Patsy's painting here. Paint, squish, squish, paint. I hope you guys are not bored. That'll be good. I just need to have confidence. Can't say that. If you say they're bored, they're going to be bored, BALTAZAR. Now go get that toilet paper. Alright, we got... That wasn't funny, I'm sorry. That was a little bit bad. Have you guys been ordering pizza and stuff? We had frozen pizza today, and burritos and chicken pot pies. I enjoyed all of that. It was pretty good. It gets me going. It goes good with coffee. But when my coffee cools off, it's probably cooled off now. I still have soda and stuff. I drink diet soda because I don't want the sugars. I got too much sugar in my sugars. See, she's painting. Squish, squish, paint. Squish, squish, paint. So I put exclamation points. I don't think it needs it. I need something here. It's paint, paint. So you can tell, like, a lot of times I draw and make stuff up as I go, like Indiana Jones. So I identify as Indiana Jones and George Clooney at times. Imagine if George Clooney was Indiana Jones. That'd be kind of cool. Or put him in there as another guy so they could be partners. Indiana Jones and George Clooney. Just call him George Clooney. He is good, man. I like that guy. He's good in that Up in the Air movie. It was on Netflix for a while. I was watching it all the time. Because Verma Farmiga's in it too. Verma Farmiga. And she's Norman Bates' mom. I started watching that, but I lost track of it. I watched the first 2 seasons. Maybe I'm on season 3, maybe. But I just get I get bored after a while. Like, okay, I get it. This is what it's about, and then I move on. The only show that could keep me is Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Those shows. I saw that El Camino about 3 times now. Oh man, it's just good. It's like El Camino's like a double-sized Breaking Bad episode. It's not really. It's a movie within itself, but if you don't know Breaking Bad, you're going to be confused. You need to see Breaking Bad because that's the last episode, really, El Camino. So if you binge watch Breaking Bad, it goes right into El Camino on the last episode, and then after El Camino, it goes into like the making of El Camino, like the behind-the-scenes kind of stuff. It's kind of cool. Is that all the Gordy stuff? Nope. Astro Orbiter by Gordon Baltazar. It's the plan. Here's what it is. Gordy's rocking it now. Wait, man, the guy's got skills. He feels the music. Touching over there. I gotta move over. This is Patsy. She's having a good time painting. It's also gonna cause some problems for our heroes. Too thin. I didn't like it. Oh, sir, I didn't like it. I got stuck. I got into music again, man. I was vibing here. Right. So yes, you may have figured out that this character Patsy is based off of my Aunt Patsy. And Aunt Patsy's awesome. She's my godmother, actually. And years ago, when I moved into the house here, I got a call from the Chicago Tribune. They gave me set up a call, an email. They wanted to interview me. I'm like, oh, cool. And I didn't know what that was about, but I'm like, okay. And they said, your Aunt Patsy gave us your number. I'm like, cool. And so she, the lady at the Tribune was interviewing me, and she says, is this true that this all happened? Like, she said, I created my characters. I go, yep, that's true. They said, you've been working on comics? I said, yep, that's true. And she said, it says here you created Cyborg and Beast Boy. Like, no, I didn't create them. And she says, well, did you create the Tiny Titans? I said, well, no, not really. I draw them. We write stories. And she says, and then you sold the Teen Titans to Disney? I'm like, oh, no, that's not right at all. And I said, everything she said, the lady from the Tribune, everything she said was correct. But it was all my stories happened, all tied together. I'm like, you have all the facts, but they're not in order. So I heard her during the interview. she took her piece of paper and I heard her crumble it up, and then she says, "Okay, let's start from the top." And so it was pretty funny. It was my Aunt Patsy had all of the information correct, but it just wasn't in the right order, so we had to redo the interview, and it was cool though. But I ended up being in the newspaper at that time. I think it was just an article. It wasn't a photo or not. I can't remember. Maybe it was. I've been in the paper several times, different papers, and I remember when the photographer would come to the house, and I'd say, well, okay, everybody be quiet for a little while because I'm doing an interview in the basement and we're gonna have a photographer, and my kids would say, again? Those guys are always here taking pictures. So I knew that was like, this happens quite often. I thought that was fun. But Aunt Patsy's awesome. She's a great promoter for me. And I always tell Franco, if anything, if we ever have to hire a publicist, it would be her. Because she makes it more exciting than what I can do. My life is more exciting told through Aunt Patsy's experience. So that's where Patsy, she got her name. So it's not a bad thing. It's kind of awesome. It's based off of love. Lots of love. See, that's paint. She's painting. And I'm going to move this because her leg is a little thick. Thick leg. Just like a chicken leg from Harold's. And I like when characters have regular names. I also like when people name their dogs like human names. I always thought that was fun too. That was cool. Even though our dog's name's Jingle, but his name is Jingle Fett. Jingle Fett BALTAZAR. I gave him a middle name. I think I bumped the camera. Let me check if it's good. We're still good. Actually, it looks like I bumped it closer. Barbara Walters, right. Karina was awesome. Yep. Amazingly brilliant. Well, yeah, famous cartoonist. People are chiming in. I really like doing this stuff. I really like making these videos and streaming. But I don't know how long to go. Like, do an hour, 2 hours, or just go with the flow, right? Look at, it's paint, but it looks like a heart. And this is the paint. She's painting all crazy. Getting finger paints on everything. So she should have some on her hand. There you go. Paints. Paints on everything. Paint, splat, squish, splat. Paint. You're gonna like this book. It's gonna be real fun. In the third one, like this one's gonna have a lot of paint themes. There's gonna be a lot of paints all over the place. In the third one, there's gonna be lots of photographs, which is kind of cool. And in the third book, I mean, the characters get knocked out of the book and end up in my backyard. So you're gonna see a lot of pictures of like the grass and the trees and the flowers and stuff. But so I need, over the summer, it was last summer, I needed to take some photos. So when I came back from San Diego Con last year, the flowers were blooming in the yard. It looked really cool. And my son and my wife just fixed up the yard. The trees were looking good. Everything was awesome. So I said, I'm going to go out there and take some photos. So I went out there with my camera, and I'm crawling in the grass because I want to take photos that look like Drew and Jot size, because they're little, they're small, because they're little drawings from the book. So I wanted the drawings or the photos to be from their like bird's eye view or worm's eye view, you know, real low. So I'm crawling around in the grass, taking photos of flowers and butterflies and stuff, and then I stand up and I look over the fence, and the next door neighbor was out there sunbathing. And she didn't see me, which was cool. And I ducked down right away. And I was like, uh-oh, if she sees me, she's going to call the cops. She's going to think that I'm taking her photo. So I ducked down, and then I crawled back in the house. And my wife said, oh, you're done already? I said, nah, I got to do it tomorrow. So that was a true story. The lady was out there. But her back was, she was facing the other way, so she didn't see me, which was, whew. But now she's probably enjoying this live cast right now, and she's saying, I knew that was you. That's really what happened. Won't ever lie to you. It's a better story. What do you guys think? Is this pretty good? I came real close to finishing some pages yesterday, and I got a lot of editors asking me to upload stuff. So if any of you are those editors watching me now, you'll see stuff tonight. Well, it's already 8 o'clock at night, so they're probably already in bed, unless they're working from home. I know a lot of people are working from home now, which could be great, you know. I know my wife's working from home, but she's still up at like 4 in the morning, checking emails, doing things, and she really is working from home. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'll just take it easy," you know. But man, she's on it. She's listening to all the news because she part of her job is being aware of the federal government. So she's doing all right. But she's on it. But I like having everybody come. Everyone's home. It feels there's a lot of less pressure. It feels like that. Everyone's home now. You can just be home, and you don't have to worry about timing. You're just here. If you're hungry, hey, let's eat. If you're not hungry, hey, let's watch a TV show. Hey, let's do a live stream. So it's kind of cool to be like on our own, kind of a little bit. But we're all on our own, but we're still together. We're still hanging out together. It's cool, and you actually feel the love. There's love in the house. There's love happening here, and I feel it, which is it's good, right? That's all you gotta do. I think this inspiring music is making me get out. You know, they were gonna say, "Stop crying, Baltazar," but it's good stuff. I learned just from doing things. I don't leave the house that much. And when I do, I leave the house and I go work somewhere else. So like, if I leave the house, it's because I'm drawing, I'm writing stories somewhere, or I have a signing at the store or something like that. So everything I do is always this. It's always drawing comics, making things, painting, or doing appearances. The only time I have is like if I go to Harold's to pick up food, you know. But when I'm home, it's all like, that's all I talk about. I'm sure that my family is always talking about comics again, but it's not really that. It's not just me. It's everybody, because it's our lifestyle. It's what we have to. It's what we're doing. So it's what's being done, you know. So I was gonna say, I forgot. I was leading my introduction to it was too long. Oh, but then I realized when you do something for so long, it just becomes part of who you are. It becomes your life every day. It just becomes what you do. And I learned that if you wake up and do something and you hate it, then you have to move on and not do that anymore. So I'm a big believer of wake up and do what you love. If you wake up and do what you love, then you'll forget what day it is. And you'll forget what time it is. And you'll go to bed whenever you're tired. And before you know it, like I've been working these last few days, especially with these live streams. They're pretty cool because it motivates me. And after I do a live stream and I hang up, I want to do another one because I'm like, oh, that was exciting. I can't wait to do it again. It's like when you read a comic or see a movie or you watch a Star Wars movie, you want another one. And even if you're binge watching your favorite show, you're sad when you're done because like, oh, I have nothing to watch now. So it's kind of like that. I do a live stream like this, and I want to do it again. So maybe I'll just draw for 3 hours. So maybe I don't want to burn it out either. But this is just fun, you know. Just fun stuff. I'm adding splashes to her because she's having a great time too. She's in kindergarten. This character, she's in afternoon kindergarten, just like my kids were. So she doesn't have to wake up early at 6 a.m. She can wake up at 10:30 and still make the bus by noon. You know, so she's good. So she has a good time. Look at her going nuts. Did you guys check out that Patreon while you're on here? Or afterwards, right? Or Patreon/Aya Comics. Patreon.com/Aya Comics. I have one too. I want to get into Patreon more. Right now, all I have is more like a poster subscription. You could get a poster from me every month. I have different poster prescriptions. Yeah, it could be like medicine. I have poster subscriptions where you could get a mini print, I think, for $8, or you could get a poster for $15, or you could get the poster and mini print for $20. So you could get. I have different subscribers. I have like 3 or 4 guys right now doing that. So I want to work on that more. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the Patreon because I like when people receive things. They like it more. Like because right now you could join for $2. You could read my secret stuff, but I don't always get to it. I don't like if my phone doesn't work. I can't post stuff from my phone, so it's really weird. And so I know I need a new phone, but I try to post up there. But right now it's kind of like a subscription service for posters. Or if you love me, you could give me $1 a month, and we're good. You know, so. The last few posts I made it so my dollar people could see it. So I'm kind of probably gonna like if you post $1, you're probably gonna see all my posts. I'm gonna make them visible for the view for the fans. But I gotta come up with more stuff. So maybe I don't know what people get when they subscribe to Patreon. If they get anything other than what I'm offering, I don't know what to do yet. But I know we're doing all right with our Aya Comics Patreon. People are on it. I just checked it out, and we got a few people who joined. So it's all about supporting the arts. And I know in times now, like a lot of schools are cutting arts, and some of the government don't care about arts, or they're not getting funded. There's a lot of stuff going on. And Sonny's a dancer and actor in Chicago, and he's not doing anything for everything got shut down. he made it to the Lyric Opera House and boom, done. And I told it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like you just did Sullivan show, drop the mic and walk off stage. So that's kind of what's happening, it seems like, with arts. But I don't know. We'll see what happens in this next few weeks with comics. Because I always tease, like, when the news are talking about, and this, we're going to help the industries, like the food industry, and I can say it in comics, and we're going to help the banking industry, and comics, and small business, and comics. They never mention comics on the news. So, I don't know, it's kind of like, it'll get there. You know, you're bringing us down, BALTAZAR. I'm going to look at the comments, because I haven't seen. Comments rhymes with comics. I'm going to look at comics comments. All right. You can tell my brain wanders a little bit with the conversation. Oh, and there it is. Franco posted in the chat, he posted in the comments the link to the Patreon. Thank you, Franco. And my cousin Treese, hi sugar, she agrees with something I said. I'm not sure. It was something, because everything I say is awesome. You're a peeping Tom. I see that. And thanks for the stream. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Wayne. Thanks for joining the stream. I'm glad that you watched it. I'm just glad that people come in and watch the stream. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but it is fun to see, right? I'm gonna jam out to some Gordy right here. think it started over. Yeah, night visions. It started over. We're looping with the Gordy Stein. He's on what is it called again? SoundCloud, I think. Yeah, SoundCloud. Just look up Gordon Baltazar on SoundCloud. You can listen to it. It's really cool. Yeah, this is the good one. All right, I love this one. We're gonna rock out a little bit. Whoa! I think I just paused it. Ah, maybe it ran out. Something happened. Something just happened. We're gonna start it again. There you go. I pressed pause with the space bar. That was kind of soothing, wasn't it? You guys deserve some more George Clooney. It's because you deserve it. You need it. You need George Clooney in your life. He makes everything better. We still have 9 people. I'm gonna go for a little more. Look at that. You guys like it? Is it cool? Let's see. This is the other sketchbook. This is the sketchbook that they wanted Andrew to draw in because they're afraid that Dr. Danger was going to take over the other sketchbook. Oh. I like it. I feel the beat on that one. Alright. Splash, splatter. Oh, splatter, splash. I think drawing real fast like this for Drew and Jot is really helping me draw faster on other things. And I was told I was fast I was fast anyway, but drawing this Drew and Jot stuff faster is kind of prepping me to draw everything like this. And the last few months or so I've been painting too, so it's that's a lot. That's a good practice, like relief. Like I might be perfectionist trying to make something look great, But when it comes to technique, I let the technique take over, you know, like with paint especially. If I can make it look like paint, I love that. I let the paint do its thing. And with this stuff, I just let the cartooning take over. Let the rhythm get you, as they used to say. Who said that? Gloria? Well, she did the remake. Might have been one of them. One of those disco queens. Let the rhythm take you. Something like that. Splat, splat. See, and like there's imperfections, but I kind of like it. I think that's what Jack Kirby used to do too. I smelled the cigar smoke a few days ago, you know, but he hasn't been back. He's like, I think you're good now, dude. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. Thank you, sir. He didn't call me dir. He didn't call me dude. He called me kid. You're okay now, kid. 'Cause that's what he would do. 'Cause he's Jack Kirby. And I said, thank you, sir. And he said, it's all right. That's what he said. No, he didn't say that. He might have, though. He could have. All right. Said I was going to do an hour. So I keep going. The funny one in there tells me to keep going. I'll keep going. If nobody chimes in, now I'm like, I'm going to go. Maybe I'll finish this page. How about that? I'll finish this page. Man, and some drama to... So it got just splatted. What happens if, like, you walk into the room and see that your little sister just got paint all over your sketchbook? I don't know if that would end well. Especially on all your comic sketchbook. A sketchbook with a cat on it. Or a sketchbook with your drawing on it. That's what happens here. And here's the word balloon. Wordballoon.com. If you want to listen to good interviews, you go to Word Balloon. These guys aren't saying nothing, but they're definitely shocked. Go to Word Balloon, and you could hear some cool interviews. I'm on a few of them. We have a podcast too. If you like me talking like this and you want to hear more of it, but not look at stuff, we have a podcast called Oh Yeah Podcast. And I have a website called artbaltazar.com, which I have all the links to everything I told you here. Patreon link, YouTube link, Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook. Well, you are already. I have Twitter. I have Instagram, but I'm never on it too much, but I have it. I have an IMDb page. I have a few things. So if you go to artbaltazar.com, links, go to the links page, artbaltazar.com/links. You'll see all this stuff I'm talking about. I'll probably put it up on the screen or somebody write it in there, which is really cool. I see. And I see, for sure, keep going. Good, man, I will. I'm glad you're with me. You should call this show Groovin' and Doolin'. That's a pretty cool name. What program are you using? Oh, I'm using, this is a Manga Studio debut. And you could draw it. It's for making comics. It's exclusively for making comics. It has other features where I can make panels and things like that. But I just use it. I put all my panels on a piece of paper. So I kind of using it old school style. I hate saying that, but that's why you do retro, vintage, I don't know. I'm doing it paper. I scan the paper and I'm drawing on the paper, but it's in here. Because I know all the measurements on the paper are what I'm going to need when I'm done. And DC Comics provides me with paper, see? DC Comics. So I use their paper to draw on, but I scanned it in here. But the program is called Manga Studio Debut. I got it years ago, probably over 10 years ago now. I'm using the same program, and I got it for like $55. It was a download. I paid for it, and I've been using it, and I love it. And it makes everything so much faster, so easier. It just makes it real easy to work with. And you just, at first you got to adjust the settings. you adjust all the point size. Like if I go in here, here it is. I could adjust my size of my line to go in and out and swirly, and you could adjust all this, but you got to get used to what it means, like stroke in, stroke out, how fast you go. It took me a while to get that right, and then I took a photo of that, and then I have that. I took a photo of this so I would know what it is in case it messes up, because once in a while, if there's a thunderstorm or your computer turns off by itself, you know, it might reset that, and it has in the past. So I make sure that I have it where I can reset it easy. But this is Mango Studio I use, and I use Photoshop to color all my pages, which is great. I love it, and it works, and I want to keep making comics this way until I can't. But I have Photoshop. I use Photoshop CS, which I know that's an old program. I'm not sure how old it is, but I know that they're up to like Photoshop 20 now or something like that. Could be that old. See, I gotta make sure his eyes are looking at him. Here's his eyes. Because the key to cartooning is making their eyes look like they're talking to the other guy. See? Here's his eyes. So if his eyes are not looking at him, it's hard to believe he's talking. Like, who's he talking to? So they need eye contact, even though this guy's eyes are closed, because he's enjoying his ice cream. They just took a break to get some ice cream, and they came back, and Patsy got in a mess with their books, with her paint. It's all true. Every bit I say to you guys is true. Everything, all of it. All of it. The Force, the Jedi, all of it. It's true. That's a good one. Let the rhythm catch you. Rhythm is gonna get you. That's what it is. Tonight. So it was Gloria Estefan. I don't know. There it goes. See, Gordon knows what he's doing. Play that beat. Won't you play for me? Hit the music, DJ. Play that beat. Won't you play for me? Remember that? B96. How's he look? Look at that. He's eating ice cream. All right. D. Brad asked me if we're going to get the latest version. What kind of pad? I'm drawing on a Cintiq. It's a Cintiq Wacom tablet. It's a 22-inch screen. And I don't draw on iPad tablets. This is like a... It's on the desk. It's real big, and it never moves. And it says the IF podcast is a fun listen. Thank you. It's real fun to do that. I also enjoyed the first Facebook Live. Thanks, man. This is my third episode now of this so far. I really enjoy making stuff. I think I enjoy creating all kinds of things. Like if it's videos, if it's custom Mego action figures, if it's drawings, I just always need to create things. And if I can't create comics, I'm going to be creating something else. I just need to. I'm just fortunate to be able to do this for a living. I'm real grateful to that all the time. I thank baby Jesus every day. He's the guy who did it too. I prayed for him for years. And I remember when I had a call from DC Comics one day. It was one of my first calls. about the Super Pet books, and they told me, well, we really like your Super Pet pitch, and we want to publish some books. I'm like, what? What pitch? And I just went there to hang out and talk to them and show them some drawings. And it turned into a pitch meeting. So after our meeting, our phone call, they said, we want to do this and that. And I'm like, oh, that's great. And I asked them, they said, what do you think? Any questions? I'm like, yeah, I have one question. I said, during this time when you guys were thinking about calling me and giving me this deal, was there a little angel flying around your office? He said, no. I'm like, you sure there wasn't like a baby with wings flying around whispering things in your ear? And he went, there was no baby. I'm like, okay, because I've been praying to baby Jesus for years, and I thought he finally got caught up to you guys. And it really happened. I thought it was funny. We heard enough from you, Baltazar. Stop telling stories. Just get to work. But I like these streams help me work a little bit. They help me get through. Make the time go by. I just want my mom and dad to watch. Are they watching? Eventually you'll get, it's like when things get popular, everybody wants like, oh, I want that. You know? That'll happen. It's going to take over. We're going to take over the internet with this. People are going to say that, and that show's better than the Tonight Show, you know? We're going to watch that. Right after Jimmy Fallon, I'm going to watch I'm going to watch Famous Cartoonist Draw Stuff. Maybe, we'll see. I think it'll happen. It's happening now. Anyone who's watching now, I'm so grateful because you could be watching TV instead. Or you're watching me. And I'm just here. I think I'm going to do this every day. Maybe every day at 7. What do you guys think? Should I make it a regular thing? I'm going to go on an hour and a half already. But it doesn't feel like it. I saw Jim Lee do something like this, but he's on there for like 4 hours, 5 hours. But the cool thing about it is like you could come in and watch, and then you could go away, and then you could come back. So there's no pressure, and I can't tell if you're watching or not. So I can only see that I'm back up to 10. See? So 2 people left. I was down to 8 at one point. I've seen the magic number seems to be 13. It always hovers around 10 or 13. But when I show, I think that's just the people watching live right now. But many people watch while it's happening, and then they check in and come back and said, oh, this guy's still drawing. What's he talking about now? But it's kind of fun, you know? It could be like Bob Ross. I could draw magical trees and stuff. I used to watch Jason Alexander. Oh, was it Jason? William Alexander. Jason Alexander, isn't that? That's George from Seinfeld. But I used to watch William Alexander paint. And when he painted, he used magic white. Now let's some magic white. And when he add the magic white, it would pop out. It would make his paintings pop. Whatever we add the white to, it would pop. And it was so cool. Like, I learned so much from that, watching that happen. Like, once you add white, it adds life, like just pure titanium white, and it pops out whatever you're working on. And I thought, man, that's really cool. And so I learned to do that. So that was real fun. Real fun to do that. And in this episode, Andrew has this green shirt again, but he has a turtleneck this time. And it started that way because I forgot to look at the last book to see what he was wearing. But he does it. And they have floating. See, floating bites. I don't know why that is, but it is. I made it that way, like we say, because it's my book. I could do it. It's true. And they're walking back into the yard. Actually, they would be walking in the house. She's painting in the house. See? So I got to fix that. And then see, there's no background. So I'm going to draw it right with the inks. Watch. The skills to pay the bills. They're walking right in. So this should be a doorway there. Walking right in. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. It's happening. Hit me, baby, one more time. Is that what the song is? Oh, it's a slow build. You hear it? Okay, we're gonna get rid of this line so I don't accidentally color it later. Walking in from the kitchen. Yeah, they have to be in the kitchen because they got ice cream, right? It's gonna be the kitchen. We'll draw the sink here. I always draw things that hint. Well, then I won't need those things. So I can erase with this ink line, which is kind of cool. We're gonna do it like that. I need to make another layer. Make it gray. We didn't use gray yet. See? And then maybe I can put a window here. Watch. Let's do a window. You see my windows all the time look like this. I don't like it. Don't like it. No, I don't like it. Just gonna go ahead and go square. Maybe add a windowsill. That's it. It's enough. Just enough to show you something's going on. See? It's the window. It's the kitchen. That's where they came from. The boys came from the kitchen with their ice cream bars. Ice cream bars, candy bars, and BALTAZARs. Famous Cartoonist Draws Candy Bars. He does. How about that? I'm going to add a frame here, so I got to make sure. I always have frames. I'm going to put that here. So I know later I'm going to add a frame. See? Now that's it. Looks like he's, looks like they're at home. I don't know, I got pictures. Maybe I'll put a Dan the Deal picture there. Think I could get away with it? Should I try it? This is not a DC comic book. I'm going to ink this panel, and that'll be the end of the show. Is that okay? Let's see what you guys think. I don't want to burn it out. I need people to watch this later, you know? Let's see. Oh, Alexander would say, fire it in. Yeah, he would. Kevin Bixby's in the know because we're watching live. There are 11 people now, so I just got an extra person. I'm glad you guys can hear me because I did. I wasn't sure if the music was too loud. I'm gonna draw Andrew because they're shocked. They just came in to see the sister slinging paint everywhere. And that's not good if you're gonna. It's not good if you're trying not to. If you're trying to keep the place clean, it's rough. See, his head's too weird looking. That's pretty good. Watch this. I'm even going to lower it a little bit. Like that. All my characters have round heads all the time. They don't have noses. I don't know why that started. I'm trying to think of who didn't have a nose. I used to watch. I don't know why that is. Who didn't have a nose in famous Hanna-Barbera? Or I used to watch a lot of Heathcliff stuff. Not watch it, I used to read the books. Those were my favorite books to read. Maybe there was, no, they had noses in there. I just don't remember. This foot should be bigger. That. See, the lines I had, the pencil lines, are more like guides. I should call them pencil guides. Because I don't really draw on them, you know? Oh, this line should be, yeah, it should be like this. Trust me, it needs to be. Such a simple foot. It took so much correction. Alright, we're good now. I just want to see my friend and shake his hand. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Alright. See, look at, just go real quick. Remember with cartooning, if you go fast, it looks better. Just go fast, it looks better, and can't make a mistake because that's what it's supposed to look like, you know, with cartooning. It's weird because, like, if you look at a cartoonist, it's hard to tell who's better. Like, there's so many different styles. Like, who's a better artist, like Charles Schultz or Jack Kirby? You can't really, like, I don't know. They're both great, but they're truly different. Or like you look at the Dick in the newspaper, you look at Dick Tracy, and then you look at like BC, that comic. They're real different, but they're both in the newspaper. So that's what I like about cartooning. There's no wrong way. Everything looks correct, even when it's not. You know. This is a new song. Oh, this is not. Oh, this is not my son.
Hey, Jason, man, turn the shit up.
We're not gonna play this. This is not my son's song. Sorry, whoever this is. We're not gonna play that because that's not my son's song. I don't want to get struck. So we listened to an hour and a half of his stuff. I'm gonna hear it again, and then after I finish this, it will be at the end of our. At the end of our time together here. I hope that's okay. I'll be doing this again. I enjoy doing this. And just here's a secret. I have an S on his cap, on Foz's cap. And it stands for socks, because White Sox. But I can't put the Sox logo, of course. But it does stand for Sox. Because if he says, who's your favorite team, he could say Sox. There's more than one Sox. See? Clever. Figured it all out. Mike Gordy rocks. Mike Gordy Steiner 49er. That's what we call him. Gordy Steiner 49er. And these children are dumbfounded, these two boys. Like, what the heck? It's true. See, you're like, what the? This guy's kind of happy. He's like, oh boy, your little sister's at it again. And he's like, oh, what are you doing to my book? You're gonna like it. This is a really fun book. I came up with a really cool premise for it. When I started drawing it, I wasn't sure where it was gonna go, but now I do, and it's similar to. Yeah, I'll reveal. It's similar to the movie Groundhog Day, where he wakes up in bed all the time and it's a brand new day. Similar. It's not a redo. It's not a redo. He's not reliving the same day, but it reminds me of that. The way I'm going with it. I think his foot's too big. Yeah, look at it. It's kind of big. I'm gonna redo the foot. So it's kind of cool, and the characters aware. The characters are aware of what's happening, so I think you'll dig it. And I want each Drew and Jot book to be different than the last one. I just don't want a sequel to be a retread of the first book. I had different ideas in mind for each book. There's different characters involved. There's different things happening, which is kind of fun. Let's see what I gotta do here. See my thing? I was thinking. My hand was thinking there. I'm gonna add stuff though. I need something. I'm gonna add that frame here. So you just gotta bring it in. Bring it in and make it look like a living room. I'm real good at adding things to the background. Just make it look like they're somewhere. Make it look like he's somewhere, you know? Doesn't have to be there. I don't need to show the couch and all that. You just have to know that he's in the living room. I think that does it. Ooh, I had a cough. Swig. Look, here's my other cup. Ah. Oh, that was better. I got dry because I've been talking. I've been talking since 7 o'clock, and it's 8:49. This live stream will probably go about 2 hours. It's not bad, though. I still got people. People are still looking, still viewing, still keeping with me. All I gotta do is now draw these little tally marks, because when I make my crop marks, and when I bring it into for coloring, these are where I put my borders, the panel borders, you know, the lines that trim the panels. Yeah, that's it. Panel border, trim lines, and so then everything is straight and where it should be, and anything goes out of these lines. It frees me up to see that one's a little off. It frees me up to draw over the border. I don't have to stop at a line. I just keep going freestyle, and I just keep going freestyle, and then I could be looser with my stuff and faster and looser. As you can tell, I had a good time with this panel. This was real fun. The cool part about it is, like, you could see what the finished result of this page was, and then you could check in the beginning of the video when I started it what it looked like before I started, and see how I'll get rid of all the extra lines. See, that's it. That's the page. That's the page inked, ready to go to color. Patsy's destroying stuff with her paint. She's having a great time. The paint lands on the books. Then the boys come in and says, "So anyway, I was thinking of another character for what?" And there needs to be a bloom. I'm gonna do like this. This is something Charles Schultz did, I think. He's dumbfounded. The next thing he says is exclamation point. Wait, yeah, that's cool. See, he's in shock. We'll see if the editors approve that. But I like it. But it's not even. Let's see. Yeah. That Gordy music is alright. Here we go. I got a feeling that I'm gonna draw forever. Being famous takes all day. You gotta make it work now. Hit it. Being famous being famous. Famous cartoonist. Draws things, yeah. Famous cartoonist draws things. Famous cartoonist draws things.